Hey guys, welcome to another Fired Up Coffee session. So this is number 8, coffee session number 8. And today's topic is all about focus. So I'd just like to say hi to those who are watching. Ryan, Jerome, Marifel, Tito Juni, Bernie, right. Vincent is here. Alex, Erlinda, Leo, Alexander, Mimi, Blair is here. My good friend Blair. John is here. Thank you guys for watching this. Awesome. Ting Ting is here. Kenneth, Marjorie Ann, Marlon, Cheryl, Lee, Kate, Joe, Miriam, Habito. Burns is here. Chris is back. Alan, dami no? Thank you guys for making this afternoon a fired up afternoon. Ika nga sa ating isang nag-comment, a fired up afternoon to you from Burns. All right, so the question of the day. I always start with the question of the day because it gets the conversation going. And since our topic is all about focus, I'll show to you first the official title of the show, or the official topic of the show. How to focus on one thing and create amazing results. Now, how to focus on one thing and create amazing results. So one of the best books ever written, I guess. Well, I'm convicted that it's really a good paradigm shift. It's the book written by Gary Keller. Maybe some of you have read this book. And this book was a gift from our friend Joey. She gifted it to my wife Michelle, and my wife said, "Curbs, read this book," because I'm a multi-passionate person. I like to do so many things. I like to get involved in so many things. Then sometimes I find myself spread out too thinly, and I realize that the results that I'm creating before were spread out as well. So I could not go higher on a certain result because I had to devote some of my time to other things, right? So I don't know if you're in the same situation. You're a multitasker. You want to do simultaneous, endeavors, but at the end of the day, you're not happy with the results. So we want to address that problem today. So we have to learn how to focus. So the question of the day: how can we avoid distractions and devote more time on our priorities? So, well, the first question is, before you even answer that question, do we know our priorities? Okay, so this session will also help us identify them, our one thing. Okay, so I'll be elaborating on that. So it's gonna be based on this book. The concepts are based on this book. So maybe once a week I will get a book from my library and share the concepts that I love, that we can apply at least within the 45-minute time frame of this show. What do you think, guys? Is that a good idea? All right. So Chris Panlilo is saying hi to everybody. Hi, Tito Chris. Hello. Okay, so medyo mahirap yung tanong, but maybe you can start with, what are the things that distract you? What are the things that put you out of focus? Right? John is saying, "Kumusta kayo mga ka-coffee? Stay safe po." Thanks, John. All right, awesome. So guys, think about your answers. Now, maybe you can simplify it. What distracts me are these things. Ano ba yung at the end, when you do these certain things, you feel a little bit guilty because you're supposed to be working on your goals. You're supposed to be putting a lot of time devoted on this, on certain things. So you start off the day saying, yes, I'm gonna do a lot of work, but you end the day feeling like I did a lot of things, but why do I not feel like I've done something? Parang bitin siya. And that means that you did everything else except the one thing you're supposed to do. Okay, so we can be busy about so many things, but the question is, what are we busy about? Ano ba pinagkakaabalahan natin? Ginagawa ba natin ang dapat nating ginagawa? All right. So a little tongue twister from my end. Okay. So, yo, what's up? Okay, dumadami na ang umaattend. Thanks guys for coming back, or for those who are first time, my name is 𝗙𝗶𝗿𝗀𝗀𝗲𝗏, and I'm an author and a speaker and a corporate trainer. And during this quarantine period, I thought of creating a live broadcast, so I can share some of the things that I teach in the corporate world and when I'm being invited as a speaker, and some of my convictions as well. Okay, Burns is starting the ball, right? Sabi niya, distraction. Majoring in the minors. Ano bang ibig sabihin nun, Burns? Expound, please, no? Meaning, baka you're putting so much time on less important things, right? Minor things. Pero it takes half of your day. It takes maybe your whole day, and at the end of it, nagpupuyat ka kasi hinahabol mo yung one thing mo. All right, so guys, what are the things that distract you? Paki-share lang sa baba. Okay, thanks for watching. Marami pang pumapasok. Si Mike is here. Rod Palma is here. Awesome. Helen is here. Peter Eric Magbanwa, my schoolmate in Davao. Rem is back. Well, Rem is here, no? Girly, Arthur Afamador, Via is back. Liza Pai, Alma Valenzuela, Palang Sultan, Marisa. Awesome. So maraming bumabalik every day. It's becoming a 3 p.m. habit for all of us. All right. So I'd just like to share what Tito Chris is joining the conversation. Kayo din, guys. This is a conversation. This is not a talk. This is not just a session. Nagkakape tayo, nag-uusap tayo. Sana yung kape ko. Here's my coffee. Okay. Ayan. An author named Malcolm Gladwell says, if you spend 10,000 hours of practice and focus, you can master a skill. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods spend more than 10,000 hours to be a master. Yes, I think that's in the book Tipping Point, and that concept became popularized. Like, and Malcolm Gladwell was sharing about the Beatles, di ba? Na sobrang daming gig ng Beatles. We think that Beatles is just an overnight success, but before they became very famous, they were playing 10,000 hours there already in Liverpool. So Tito Chris is saying, 10,000 hours is a lot of time. So we have to find our one thing that we can devote there. So thanks for sharing that. All right, so Burns is saying that's exactly what I meant. Yung comment niya, thanks for affirming that. All right. Awesome. So, and you can share your ideas, share your concepts. What are the things that distract you from your priorities? Go ahead. All right. So, at this point, I'd just like to thank our fired up patrons for making this show possible. And for those who bought me coffee in the previous episodes, thank you, because you're helping this show to become sustained and to be shared to more people. Awesome. So guys, buy me a coffee or become a fired up patron. If you're a business person and you think the crowd here is the right crowd, then you can advertise your business. I can put your logo. That's an added feature. All right. So awesome. So guys, so let's proceed. Let's proceed. So thanks for all your insights and ideas. Pag may naisip kayo, lagay nyo lang dyan para mai-share natin ang idea nyo so we can really have a conversation. Don't forget to share this broadcast to your friends. If you think you have friends that are confused about what to focus on, no, they're involved in so many things, but they're not happy with the results that they have in their business, even in their life in general. Just share this post to them in this live stream. Okay, so let me share my screen to you. Ayan. Okay, so how to focus on one thing and create amazing results. Okay, that is the main topic for today. Okay, so when I thought about this question of the day, niisip ko rin yung sarili kong sitwasyon, no? Because all of us have distractions. All of us have things that we just want to be entertained with. And for me, there's really nothing wrong with getting entertainment. In fact, it can help you reset your mind so that you can become more productive, no? But certain things are abused. Okay, so ano yun? Mga bagay na dapat hindi natin ginagawa, pero ginagawa natin. No? And it's not helping with our productivity. Okay, so this session also has a lot to do with being productive, because if we know our priorities, then we can create results for our lives. Now, and how do we devote more time on our priorities? Now, maybe the prerequisite, as I mentioned earlier, ano ba talaga ang priority natin? No, kasi every day, ang dami nating gustong gawin. We want to be involved in so many things. And sometimes we cannot anymore focus on our priorities, right? So, I want to share with you some ideas, friends. It's not from me, it's from this book. Or can you see it? One Thing by Gary Keller. Sino dito nakabasa na ng librong to? Let me know if you've read this book. Maybe you can help me out and add more insights, because I cannot cover all these, right? But I just got, actually what I did was to get the frameworks, and I took a screenshot of many of the illustrations in the book that I really love, because it helps me understand better. And that's what I'll be sharing with you this afternoon. Awesome. All right, so unang problema, the first problem that we have is that we have limited time. Tama, di ba? We have only 24 hours in a day. We have 365 days in a year, and probably, we live up to 80. We live up to 75. We really don't know. So we don't have enough time to do so many things. We can only focus on certain things and master it, and master the certain things. So kulang yung oras natin. So dapat we have to decide on what should we invest our life on. How can we make our life meaningful? And how can we achieve happiness in our lives, pursuing our goals? Kasi limited nga yung oras. Everybody's just given 24 hours. And as I mentioned earlier, there are distractions along the way. We can get sidetracked of certain things and realize that it's not contributing to our goals, right? So what are these things na pag-isipan natin? And of course, there are important things, and there are also what we call less important things. Now, so in our whole day, baka we are devoting 80% of our time on less important things. What do you think, guys? Right? So, okay, I'd like to start off with a Russian proverb, which is actually in the cover page, the inside cover of this book. Sabi doon, Gary Keller quotes, "If you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one." Okay, what do you think of this quote, guys? Totoo ba to? Now, what do you think? Comment below. If you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one. So it's something to ponder on. It's something to ponder on. Kasi maybe you are in a business, for example, but you have two businesses, no? So you have two identities. I don't know what those are, but I know of some friends who have two identities. So instead of excelling in one of the business, na maging number one siya doon, ang mangyayari is you become not number one in both. Okay, okay. So you chase two rabbits, you will not catch either one. So that's something to think about and to reflect on. So this is, I think, the pivot point. This question is will help us reflect on choosing our one thing. Okay, so what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Let me read that again. Now, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? So may isang bagay talaga na pag ginawa natin siya, it will create an impact. It will solve so many other things in our lives. It will later I'll show to you an illustration what I mean by this, and maybe the concept can be expounded more. So ito, no? Ito yung concept that I was referring to when I say the one thing that will make everything else easier or unnecessary. So imagine a domino, no? A domino. If you're able to find that one thing that is most crucial to your business, to your life. Now, for example, if you're so depressed and unhappy, and perhaps there's this one thing that you should be doing is to forgive somebody. Na? Maybe that's the one thing that is blocking you from becoming happier in life, from becoming free. So if you did that one thing, if you forgave that person, or if you make peace with that person, magkakaroon ng domino effect sa buhay mo. You will have freedom. You will be happier. You'll restore relationships. Maybe that is the one thing that is internal. Or if it's about our health, right? So if you did this one thing, it will greatly affect your health. It will greatly reduce the risk that you have in your health. If that one thing is not to eat meat, for example, I have a friend na the one thing na makakapagpaganda sa buhay ko ay not to eat meat, because it will eradicate the cholesterol. If you're not in a keto diet, no, it will eradicate cholesterol, it will eradicate the salt, and it will lower your hypertension. So things like those. What is that one thing in your health? Or maybe in your business, what is that one activity that if you did it every day, you will be able to generate more income and generate more leads. So baka marami kang ibang ginagawa, and that one thing is just to simply call prospects, DM, PM, no? Maybe that's the one thing that can topple the domino, right? Maybe create conversations and just say hi to certain people, and that can now spur to more things that can benefit your life. So that's what is meant by the one thing that you should do that will make the rest of the things unnecessary or easier. Like for me, I discovered that my one thing is this Facebook Live. You know why? Because I'm trying to build my online presence. I'm trying to build following, and so I can spread the Fired Up Left message more. So amongst all my different endeavors, I do podcasts, I do text, blog, right? I do other things like a 1-minute video. But ang napansin ko, if I do this Facebook live streaming, it will create engagement. Ngayon nag-uusap tayo, nagkakaroon tayo ng conversation. And for me, ito yung domino, no? Ito yung one thing na nagkakaroon ng impact. And ever since I did Facebook Live, I became closer to those who are following me in this platform. Okay, and I'm able to serve better. Okay, so yun yung sinasabi ko. Now, for me, that's my one thing. Maybe you can comment below. Maybe you realize something. Ano yung one thing mo? You know, in whatever aspect in your life that you have. Well, maybe you can comment about your business. Maybe about your spiritual life. Usapan natin yung spirituality natin. Baka what is the type of activity in your spirituality that blesses you so much? Diba? Pag nagbasa ka ng gospel, maybe that is the one thing that can lift up your spirits. Pero hindi natin ginagawa every day. No? Maybe that one thing is when you go to mass, then everything else is affected. Everything else falls into place. So it's different for each and every one of us. But think about it. Think about your one thing. Okay. So, may comment dito. May tanong actually. Si Chris, no? His third comment. Can you share what Gary Keller shared about the importance of relationships? I think he mentioned life like a juggler. No? So I guess I cannot expound on every aspect of the book, but he mentions about, you know, certain friends that you have to prioritize, or your family is the closest thing to you. So I'm not so I have to review that part about relationships, but in my mind, according to his framework, you have to nurture the important people in your life, right? Kasi sila yung madalas nakakalimutan natin. No? The most important people in our life, our one family, our one thing, these are the people that we least spend time on. Of course, itong quarantine na to has given us so much. But on ordinary days, we're too busy at work. We spend more time actually with our bosses and with our colleagues, and lesser time with our family. So I think this is what he meant. Sabi naman ni Ron Merencilla, when we are resolving important issues, we usually tend to juggle a lot of things at the same time, hence distracting us, even if we are already trying to accomplish our priorities. So Ron is using, and si Chris, Tito Chris is using the metaphor of juggling, di ba? What happens if you juggle so many things? Some fall off, no? Unless you're an expert juggler. Okay, but how many things can you really juggle at the same time? The most 3, and you need certain skill to do that. But if you have 2 things in your hand at the same time, lang yung family and work, these are certain things that you can control. Okay, so awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Ron. Great, guys. I love your comments. Keep it coming. So just think about this domino. Ano yung one small domino? And fun fact that I'd like to share with you is that a domino pala can topple. Our constant imagination of a domino is like the same size, di ba? Pare-parehong size. But imagine, this is real. This is science. A domino can topple 50% more of its size. Okay, so nakita mo yan. So in other words, if you use that in our life, this small one thing that you do, pag na-identify mo yan, can topple a bigger thing, a bigger problem. And that bigger problem can create a domino, can solve a bigger problem, okay? And another bigger problem. And think of the unlimited potential of that one thing. So find that domino, find that one thing that can make an impact or a ripple to for the rest of your life. So in the coming slides, I will help you find that one domino that you should be able to start on or focus on. How is it so far, guys? Are you learning something? Are you enjoying? Are you benefiting? Just comment below. Let's keep the conversation coming. All right, so ito example. I'll make this bigger so you can see it. Now I'll turn off hide this. See, so meron tayong, ito yung madalas natin ginagawa, to-do list, di ba? So we start the day, we get a piece of paper, or in our cell phones, we type things to do, things to accomplish. Right. So meron tayong a list of 10 to 15 things, 10 to 20 things. But here's what Gary Keller is saying. I-identify nyo yung should do. Should do. Ito yung could do and should do. Okay, and by doing that, actually, you're able to create not just a checklist. You're able to create a success list. Okay, so let's try to change our definitions. Parang let's transition it from just having a checklist to having a success list. Kasi ito yung mga bagay na dapat nating ginagawa. So maybe tomorrow you can start this, or maybe tonight as you prepare for the next day, gawa kang checklist. Then ano yung top 5 na dapat nating ginagawa so that we can have the greatest impact on our goals. And maybe these are the things that are bothering us, are hindering us. We keep procrastinating on these things. Now, when we create a success list, then we will be able to say to ourselves, at pag ginawa natin tong 5 bagay na to, we can say to ourselves, yes, I feel very productive today. I feel very accomplished. And I was able to do my success list. Okay, so think about that, guys. This will be very helpful for us in our productivity. Okay, so maybe you're familiar with the 80-20 principle, the Pareto principle. Sino familiar dito sa Pareto principle? No, and it says the Pareto principle is saying that if you are able to focus on the 20% most important things in your work, the rest of the 80% will be solved. Okay. So sabi nila, sabi ni Pareto, yung nag-discover ng concept na yan. So Pareto concept, if you look at it, no, ano talaga, the world is dominated by an 80-20 imbalance. Okay, so 20% of the world's rich wealth, 80% of the world's rich wealth, no, 80% of the world's wealth belong to 20% of the richest people. Okay, so or maybe you look at your closet, you only use 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. So may ibang di mo talaga ginagamit na, but there's like this top 20% of your clothes that you always wear. No, so that's the Pareto principle. Now, this is what Gary Keller is saying. You don't have to stop at 20%. You don't have to stop at 20%. Sabi niya, sa 20% na yan, piliin mo pa yung one thing. Okay. Wow. No? Piliin mo pa yung one thing. Sa dami mong ginagawa, you're serving here, you're working here, you're having your online platform here and there, you're devoted to your family. No? So, talagang ano siya, pag nakuha mo yung the most important of the other, amongst the other important things, that is your one thing. That is the domino. Pag nag-devote ka ng oras dyan, pag ginawa mo yan, it will relieve you of a lot of stress, it will relieve you of a lot of frustrations, and it will make you a happier person. But we have to identify first that one. No? So Gary Keller is suggesting that to go beyond the Pareto, to go beyond the 20% and identify that one, no? the 1% or the one thing that can help us. No? So yung 20% are the most important things na. Diba? But alin dito sa most important things is more important pa talaga. Okay? So think about those things that you do in a day. Baka iniiwasan natin yung most important thing. And at the end of the day, we won't feel productive if that's the case. Alright, so sabi ni Burns, I need to hear these things now. Thanks, Kirby. I'm happy that this is creating relevance in your life, and if it's relevant to you, maybe it may be relevant to other people as well. So please share this. Please share my page. I'll let them follow, because every day from Monday to Friday, you'll be hearing me live. All right. So thanks for that comment, Burns. Great. No, so just like to show you this image. The typical day, ako pa mismo nag-picture nito sa libro. Okay, then I cropped it. The typical day, ito yung sa karamihan sa atin. No? For most of us, we are our one thing, we devote just a little portion of the pie. 25% of our day lang natin ginagawa. Okay, so if you have come to that point that you're able to realize the one activity in your business or in your work or in your family that you're supposed to be doing, minsan, yan, most of the time pala, the typical day, 20 to 25% lang ginagawa. So what the author is proposing, what Gary Keller is proposing, is that half of your time, you devote it on your one thing. Yan. Kasi, if you're trying to master something, then you devote a lot of time for that. And the secret really now is time blocking, time blocking. And if you can block a certain amount of hours for that one thing you want to grow in, that if you could master it, that will create the domino effect in your life, then do so. So yan, ito yung shift na pwede natin gawin. Mas magbigay tayo ng oras sa one thing natin. All right. Yan. So now, ito, meron ka ng one thing, no? That's your big picture. Maybe your one thing is to be an author. Example lang. Kasi being an author, for those who are pursuing that path, they say that the book is a glorified calling card. Okay? If you have a book, then you're able to give it to some persons or some people it's like saying you're an expert in that thing. And it's true. When I launched my book, I gave some books away, or even if I sell the books, it created so much business for me. It opened a lot of doors and clients for me. So that, before, when I read the book, sabi ko, ang dami kong ginagawa, pero yung one thing na dapat ko ma-accomplish is to publish my book. So, ginawa ko, I shifted my time and I put 50% of my time in creating my book. So ako naman, these days, it's my courses, my fired up courses, because that is the one thing that can give me scale in terms of my own livelihood as well. So yun, half of my time, I write my scripts, I shoot my videos, and I launch my courses. So ganun din po, no? But in that big picture, let's just say you wanna publish a book, you have also a small focus. What's my one thing right now? So, example, yun nga, yung libro, my one thing right now is to finish 200 words or 500 words today. That's my one thing right now. That's connected to your bigger one thing. Okay, I hope this is helping you guys. Comment kayo kung may mga tanong. Comment kayo if this is helpful. All right. Okay, so this is something that that can make it a bit clearer or more clear to you. So tingnan natin, no, yung illustration. What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? No, so for your spiritual life, ano yung para mag-grow yung spiritual life natin? Ano ba yung one thing na dapat mong ginagawa? Rosaryo ba yan? Scripture reading ba yan? No, is it a meditation? What is that one thing? It's gonna be different for everybody. Is it attending the mass? What is it? No, comment below. Lagay nyo, spiritual life. Ito yung one thing ko. Okay. Para dumami yung ating comments. Magkaroon tayo ng conversation. All right, so let's be active. Let's be interactive with one another. Okay, next, no, nabanggit ko na kanina, for physical health. Let's go clockwise. For physical health, ano yung one thing mo na dapat na mong ginagawa? Ano ba yan? Push up ba yan every day? Is it to eat healthy? No, to eat more vegetables? To be able to improve your... What's that one thing? So, ito mga circles na to, assignment ko po sa inyo, create your one thing for each circle. Binigyan pa ng assignment, no? Fired up assignment. Fired up assignment. Kung okay lang sa inyo, thumbs up naman dyan. Meron bang thumbs up dito? May emoticon, no? Or just say yes, di ba? Okay, for my personal life, ano yung one thing na pwede natin ma-improve sa ating buhay in terms of personal life? Is it be able to connect with a certain person, to be able to resolve certain issues? No? Is it being able to spend more time with your family? What are these things that can help you? No, si Art, Kuya Art, a famador, songwriting yung one thing niya. Gusto niyang mangyari sa buhay niya. Oh. No? Sabi naman ni Burns, challenge taken. Okay? Gawin mo, Burns. Bawat isang bilog dyan, create your one thing. Next is for my key relationships. Ano ba yung mga key relationships? Family, your loved one, right? Baka we're missing out on them na. No? Baka this is also the answer to Tito Chris' question earlier. Ano yung one thing that you can do in your relationships? Kunwari, may asawa ka. Kunwari. Like for those who have spouses, maybe nagpaplato yung relationship. Baka may dapat kang gawin in that relationship that can spark it again. What's that one thing that your spouse loves so that your relationship can grow? For your job, what is that one thing that your management expects that if you do such thing, you will be able to have a better performance? For your business, ganun din, no? Ano yung bagay sa negosyo mo na makakapag-palago nito? And lastly, for my finances, okay, what is that one thing? Maybe it is to save more, or maybe it's to cut expenses. I don't know, guys. I don't know with you, ano yung one thing nyo, but I promise you, if you do the one thing for each circle, it will dramatically increase your productivity and focus. Agree? Agree ba? Okay, I hope you agree with me. Kasi as I'm giving this talk, it's also helping my own life. No, it's also helping me focus on the one thing. In fact, every day we have to examine it. Have I done my one thing? In the morning when we wake up, let's ask ourselves, what's my one thing today? And if that can be a habit, you can be more productive and create amazing results in your life. Okay. So, guys, let's go back to the question of the day. How can we avoid distractions and avoid more time on our priorities? And priorities meaning your one thing. All right. Any answers there? Any more comments? So, yun yung ano, that's my contribution for the day to your life. Okay? So for more of those concepts, you can just download an ebook of well, not for free. Go to Amazon, buy one thing. I don't have a link. Sana naglagay ako ng link na para may affiliate commission. But guys, just do it. No, it will help you, especially during this quarantine period. You may have the time to read more. And if there's one of the books that I could recommend besides my own book, The Fired Up Life, it's Gary Keller's One Thing. And if there's a book that you love, let me know. Maybe I've read that book and I can expound on it. Yung common, yung 7 habits, I know about that. Maybe you can focus on one of the habits, right? Maybe we can talk about some of the books of John Maxwell. You know, let me know your ideas so we can have a more enriching, fired up coffee session in the day. Okay, so just like to say, more of the people who are watching, Joe is watching, Joe Adoro, Galit, M. Eleanor is watching, Kate Mendiola's watching, Lee, Cheryl, no, ang daming nanonood. Thank you guys for watching. So, may dumadagdag pa. No? Si Gilmore Lucena is watching, my good friend Jay. How are you, Jay? No? Comment naman dyan. Jesse B is watching from Australia. Jace, Pam is watching. Jan, Michael Santos, Randy Gamboa. All right, all the way from UAE. Thanks for watching. Marissa is watching. Jeff Arong is watching. Mary Cecil Ramos is watching. Marvin Jimenez is watching. Mans Padilla is watching. Ang daming nanonood. Thank you guys. I really appreciate your presence here. So awesome. Thanks. This is a very, for me, very productive fired up coffee session today. And I almost have parang yung kape ko, no? Hindi ko na naiinom. What coffee are you having today? So, guys, thanks for contributing your thoughts, your concepts. Now, tomorrow will be another fired up coffee session. And you can help me suggest a topic. You can personally message me, or you can comment below what are the things that you're going through and the things that we can talk about. Great. So, again, another like a bonus for those who were absent for the past 2 Fired Up Coffee sessions, I've been promoting my free Fired Up Mindset course. So, marami na nag-enroll. No? Di ko lang nabilang kung ilan na. But please go to firedupcourses.com/firedupmindset and you will get 6 videos. Like, ano siya talaga? I really poured my heart, my effort, my mind into these 6 videos, and it's about creating a fired up mindset so you can become more self-motivated. All right, so just like to thank once again our patrons for making this show possible. And if you want to contribute to the Fired Up Coffee sessions and become a supporter, just go to patreon.com/fireduplife. May mga patrons na rin, and just like to thank you guys for being a patron. All right, so salamat sa inyo for really supporting the Fired Up Life. Ito yung mga patrons natin, no? Thank you sa mga patrons natin. Nandun sila. So I really appreciate it, and you're helping me sustain and grow this show as well as my other content creation. So every day po nagpo-post po ako ng blog, no? Yung mga 3-paragraph blogs lang in my Facebook page as well. So you can check that out. This morning I posted something already. So I'm also having my podcast. Di ko lang nababanggit dito, but go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, and you can see the Fired Up Life. Search mo Fired Up Life, and you will see that every day or every other day I'm posting a new insight, a new idea about being fired up. All right, so that's my Fired Up Coffee, Fired Up podcast. So it's being a patron helps me do all these things. Great, awesome. But if you want to support me immediately, just go and buy me a coffee. Madali lang, no? So buymeacoffee.com/𝗙𝗵𝗂𝗀𝗏. Just go there, and you will be able to immediately support this show, right? So another option that I'd like to propose is if you want to advertise, also I can accept corporate sponsorship na. So marami-rami na rin ang episodes na nangyari. So thanks guys. So support the show. Great. Awesome. So bukas ulit, no? Kita-kita tayo, and it's about time already. So thank you for all your comments and your ideas. I pray that you're able to identify your one thing, a little review, identify that domino. What's that one thing? The most important amongst the other important things, the most important thing. Next is create a success list, not just a checklist. From your checklist of 20, create a success list. And from that success list, even choose the one thing that you're supposed to do first in the day. Okay, so these are just some things and ideas that can help us. And guys, salamat. Salamat sa panonood. And see you again tomorrow for another Fired Up Coffee Sessions. Hey, God bless you. Have a fired up afternoon.